Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai, Shri Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Sringadev Bhagavan Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. 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 Jaya Dvaita Janda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We try to be a little enthusiastic in this time, right? Because everybody is... Okay, we did our morning program. We went from Mangaladi. Now it's only one thing more important, and that's not the lecture, that's breakfast. Somehow or other we have to bridge this time with the class, and because we are good devotees, so we come there. And we try to sit in the back, where we comfortably can support our backs. Don't be too close, where the nectar is churned. It could affect us. No. So you're welcome, come a little bit closer. I took a shower, sometimes out of enthusiasm, maybe I'm spitting, I don't know. But if you like, can come closer. But you don't have to, I don't want to force you. So, So now I have the English Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So means, are we comfortable with English? Sind wir alle außer... Oh, das ist wo schon? Wo ist Kishorik? Ich wurde gerade noch hier. Ah, okay. Du bist hier. Okay, so Subal Gopal Prabhu, du machst Übersetzung ins Deutsche. Give a hand for Subal Gopal Prabhu. Haribo! Thank you very much. It's not an easy task. I always say this, translating a class from some weirdo speaking about philosophy, it's not easy. But we have here our, and I prefer to read, to touch the book, but actually read from my tablet since my eyes are getting old. So we're reading every Saturday. We're reading from the Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. It's a very ecstatic book, and today I was given a verse. We're not following our actual sequence. I got a verse. Somebody, I mean, maybe Subal, you chose this verse. Subal Gopal Prabhu chose a verse, and I guess has something to do with the themes we spoke the last weeks, because we have our monk challenge and we have some new devotees here. Munindrakan Prabhu spoke yesterday already in length about the glories of the holy name, and somehow, and it's also befitting we continue with that. Now, reading from the Caitanya-caritāmṛta is not an easy task. It's basically the icing on the bhakti cake. It's this book what all the acharyas, the bhakti acharyas, all relish, and what contains actually everything. There's always this, I hear this many times, this comparison, if you in a boat and this boat is sinking and you have to get rid of some ballast, and what you have with you, of course, every devotee has with himself, he has a Bhagavad Gita, Srimad-Bhagavatam, and the Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So, and the boat is sinking. What you get rid of first? Now, that's a difficult question, huh? If I say this, then maybe I'm wrong with that, you know. What you get rid of first? Bhagavad Gita, Srimad-Bhagavatam, Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Huh? Then you throw on with everything. Huh? Well, then you know, it's also not help, because I'm the person, you know, who deliver the message. Maybe. What do you think from your feeling? Speak from your feeling. It's not actually right. Huh? Bhagavad Gita, yes. Really? He throws the Bhagavad Gita in the water. Look at him. But then guess what? You throw the Bhagavad Gita and the ship is still sinking, the boat. What you throw in next? Huh? The Srimad-Bhagavatam, really? No. Of course, we don't. It's a heartbreaking for us. It's heartbreaking. But if it should be like that, then we would throw the Srimad-Bhagavatam, because it's said from the Caitanya-caritāmṛta, you can withdraw everything. You can re-establish Bhagavad Gita. You can re-establish the Srimad-Bhagavatam, because all the Siddhanta, what we gain out of Bhagavad Gita and out of Srimad-Bhagavatam, in conclusion, is in the Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So therefore, this book is so sweet. And it also contains not also the Siddhanta. I mean, we have many books about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially his biographies like Chaitanya Mangal or Chaitanya Bhagavat. And the Caitanya-caritāmṛta is actually, when you read it, especially when you start it, other books, they're starting with the pastimes, and that's very entertaining, right? But Caitanya-caritāmṛta, especially in the beginning, so much philosophy. So much philosophy. Who can digest this? You know, people, when you give them Bhagavad Gita on the street, they say, oh yeah, I try to read it, but all these Indian names. Who can speak this when you're from Europe, basically, you know. You know, and then you have Caitanya-caritāmṛta with all this philosophy. And somebody who has no clue, he thinks, what the heaven is this? And but actually, the Siddhanta of all our philosophy, of Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, is contained right in the beginning, because there, Krishnadas Kaviraj, the author of the Caitanya-caritāmṛta, established the foundation with which we can go on reading and understanding, and put it in the right perspective. We can read and understand Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So therefore, it's very, very important. But to present the Caitanya-caritāmṛta is therefore also a very special topic. And someone who is chosen to speak of the Caitanya-caritāmṛta must understand that we all have to approach this book as a servant, the one who speaks, to serve the book by giving him a voice, and the ones who's listening, they serve by giving the chance to let it happen. Because spiritual literature is not just something what we read like a story. In that moment, where we read the story, where we chant it together, and where we explore it, it happens. It's happening in the right there, right now, in this moment, when we speak about it. That's the transcendental nature of spiritual literature. If you would recite your Harry Potter or something like that, then nobody would come. Not Harry Potter would appear here. But in this moment where we approach spiritual literature, especially here Caitanya-caritāmṛta, then Mahaprabhu is right amongst us. And even in the Bible it said, the blessed Lord says, wherever two come together in my name, I'm amongst them. So same thing here, in this moment where we approach the Caitanya-caritāmṛta with the right intention, and we recite the Caitanya-caritāmṛta with the right intention of service, then it will happen. It will appear amongst us. And as an old Sankirtan devotee from Germany who passed already on, his name was Ramananda Prabhu, always said Caitanya-caritāmṛta is not finished. And if you read the end of Caitanya-caritāmṛta, it is not finished. There's not really an ending. It's not really some satisfying ending where I can say, and now they lived happily after, right? It's kind of, okay, that's it now, So he said it's not finished. Why? Because it's still going on. And how does it going on? We continue it. We have to continue it. So therefore, we all invited to jump into the Caitanya-caritāmṛta and become part of it. Become part of it. So therefore, I'm asking you for your blessings that I may have the right intention, the right attitude as a servant to read from this book. And if you allow, and Srila Prabhupada give me some understanding, or make me a dancing puppet in his hand, like he asked from Krishna when he was on the Jaladuta, then may something valuable comes out of this stupid mouth, what always is spoiled and contaminated with offenses. But if one remembers Mahaprabhu, even a lame man can cross over mountains. So therefore we approach today verse 32 in the Adi-līlā chapter 13. Hare Krishna Nimukhi. Nagare nagare brahme kirtana kiriya. Nagare nagare brahmane Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Vasaila tribhuvana prema bhakti diya. Vasaila tribhuvana prema bhakti diya. Nagare nagare brahme Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Vasaila tribhuvana prema bhakti diya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please chant. Nagare nagare prame Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Vasaila tribhuvana prema bhakti diya. Nagare nagare prame Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Vasaila tribhuvana prema bhakti diya. Nagare brahmane Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Vasaila Tribhuvana Prema Bhakti Diya. Ladies. Nakare Prame Kirtana Kariya. Vasaila Tribhuvana Prema Bhakti Diya. Nakare Prame Kirtana Kariya. Vasaila Tribhuvana Prema Bhakti Diya. Nagare Prame Kirtana Kariya. Vasaila Tribhuvana Prema Bhakti Diya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nagare, in different parts of the town. Brahme, wonders, kirtana, chanting, kariya, performing, vasaila, inundated, tribhuvana, all the three worlds, prema bhakti, love of Godhead, diya, distributing. I think by now we get a guess what the verse is all about. Okay, let's see. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Sankirtan movement went on from one part of the town to another, as the Lord wandered everywhere performing kirtan. In this way, He inundated the whole world by distributing love of Godhead. Purport. One may raise the question how all three worlds became inundated with love of Krishna, since Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed kirtan only in the Navadvip area. The answer is that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. The entire cosmic manifestation results from the Lord's first setting it in motion. Similarly, since the Sankirtan movement was first set in motion 500 years ago by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire that it spread all over the universe, the Krishna consciousness movement, in continuity of that same motion, is now spreading all over the world. And in this way, it will gradually spread all over the universe. With the spread of the Krishna consciousness movement, everyone will merge in an ocean of love of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Agnanati Midasya Kananan Shanashlakya Chakshu Midam Yena Tasmai Sikadave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stavidam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupagramayam Dadadi Swabrandikam Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Sankirtan movement went on from one part of the town to another, as the Lord wandered everywhere performing kirtan. In this way, He inundated the whole world by distributing love of Godhead. It's a very difficult word. I have to drink something more. Distributing books. In the beginning, when I were with the devotees, I was not so good in English. So I said today I was on book disturbance. I disturbed some books. Better than book destroying some books. Anyway. Okay, so What is the main content here in this? When you hear this word, what is the main content? What you get out of it? What sticks with you? Huh? What? Yes. Giving the holy name and giving prema. Very good. Nanimogi, somebody else?
That the movement that was started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still continuing afterwards through this international society for Krishna consciousness.
Yes. Somebody else got something more?
Even if this Sankirtan was in Navadvip, this was distributed, this holy name of all 3 words.
Yes. It went in all 3 worlds. Only by what simple process? Huh? Who made kirtan?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the same like Krishna, he is Krishna.
Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he distributed the holy name only or just by wandering in Navadvip from one side of the town to another and did kirtan. And in this way, he put the seed of the Sankirtan movement into this universe. And in this way, he flooded all 3 worlds, the upper, middle, and higher planetary system. So this is something what is very glorious. But of course, when we come now in 2025 to the Hare Krishna movement, it's something what is kind of, it's already there. You can see somebody of you, I think it's a little bit outdated. I still grew up with it, more or less, but maybe Shyamanandini knows also. Who knows the Beatles? Okay, still some people know the Beatles. Yeah, of course, you know the Beatles. Yes, but it's very, we can make a comparison here. We can draw a comparison here. Before the Beatles, there was, the most craziest thing or something was some kind of folk music, right? And the most craziest thing was already in what they called then Elvis Presley, the king of rock. But still, it was still very traditional from the folk music, some blues or whatever. And then the Beatles came, and suddenly they used all kinds of electric instruments. They experimented with electrical sounds, and Karl-Heinz from Stockhausen and so many things they brought in, and they created a new art of music, new kind of music. And without the Beatles, there would be no electronical music nowadays, one can say. Now, if you now look back now on the Beatles, some younger generation from nowadays, they look on the Beatles and, oh, how boring. That's the music of my parents. How boring. But actually, they were groundbreaking. In the same way, this inauguration of the Sankirtan movement was groundbreaking. Because what Mahaprabhu did, first of all, is he took the power away from the caste brahmanas. Because before, only caste brahmanas were allowed to use Vedic mantras. Or you're reading Upanishads, where, as we heard yesterday from Munindragan Prabhu, where it appeared in the Katha Upanishad. And so nobody had access to that. Only Brahmins who were kind of initiated in this tradition. So Mahaprabhu said, no, everybody can chant this. Every soul can chant it, must chant it, right? And this was already a revolution. So he made it open. The Caitanya-caritāmṛta says he opened the lock of the storehouse of love of Godhead. And as Nandimukhi said, what she drew out of the verse, it's about 2 things. And exactly these 2 things why Mahaprabhu came. Right? To spread to spread the holy name, the Sankirtan movement, and give Krishna Prema, love of Godhead. And how did he both give it? How did he gave it to us? What he said here, the Sankirtan movement he gave by? Yes, who did Kirtan? Yes, he himself gave it. He himself went in Navadvip and went on the street and did this Kirtan, and obviously very sweet. Somebody, if you see this movie, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this old Bengali movie, and when you see how the devotees there, they're very slow in it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. They were very gentle when they were dancing. No? Sometimes I think we could learn something from this mood as well, right? But not in Simhachalam we rocking. Huh? So this is how. Oh my goodness. Yes, Nisingadev. Sorry, you went here for roaring kirtans. Yes, and in the same way, how he gave love of Godhead. In the same way? No? He tasted himself. Yes, he went himself into this state of consciousness where he experienced this love of Godhead. Because that's something what Mahaprabhu came for, to again reunite this Shakti what he outsourced. In the beginning of the Caitanya-caritāmṛta, in the Adi-līlā, first chapter, verse 5, he said that actually, or Krishna's Kaviraj, he said actually, the supreme truth is one. The supreme truth is one. And the nature of the supreme truth is, it's Atma Ram. It's completely satisfied in himself. The supreme truth, the Adi Purusha, is him in himself one. But for the sake of pastimes, for performing pastimes, he separated himself into Radha and Krishna. It's like when Charu, he always looks for, he likes to play chess. Now, he could play with himself. Can he? Boring, yes. It's completely boring. So he needs somebody who plays with him. But the best is, of course, in his world, the best would be if it's not somebody who is not so good at him. Because it's again boring, where he always wins. But then also somebody who is not so much better than him. So the best would be a version of himself on the other side of the table. Right? But it has to be someone who is still, although it's his expansion on the other side of the table, who is different from him. Because otherwise, this other version would know what he is doing next. So there would be no exchange, right? So therefore, Krishna, or the Atmaram, the original energy, outsourced the energy of himself, what is, in one sense, his own energy, on the other sense, is somehow opposite. Somehow opposite. And because of these two dimensions, what are in one sense opposite each other, everything happens. If you have the light spectrum, you have completely dark, meaning all light is absorbed. That's darkness. Everything is absorbed. Everything is within. Everything of light is there, but it absorbs everything. Now, what is the color of Krishna? Shyam, right? So everything is there, everything is absorbed. And how Prabhupada translate the word Krishna? All attractive, right? But then on the other hand, on the other end of the spectrum, you have what? Light. White. Said white. What is that? White. Yes, white. So what happens on the spectrum of white? It reflects everything, mostly everything, you know. So, but in between, Charu, we just spoke about you. What happens in between? Black and white. What happens in between these two spectrums? All colors. All colors are between these two spectrums. All life happens there. So you have Krishna and you have Radharani on the other side. And everything what happens between these two spectrums, these two poles. And this is how actually all creation is functioning. You have the spirit, you have the Purusha, and you have the Prakriti. And in the display between both of them, everything happens. All the material creation is coming to place, and everything what is played out in this creation is there. All the light, all the different, from black to gray, to blue, to green, to yellow, to red, right? Till it all dissolves in white again. It's all there. All life is there. Same thing here. Now Mahaprabhu. Yeah? Was? Was mit Schach? See? What? Yeah, he said, it sounds a little bit like chess, he says. Did you hear that, Home, what I said? You did. Okay, good. So, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became the exclusion again. He again went out and was bringing these two parts together. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu again is this Atmaram, because he again combines these two Shaktis in one personality. And this meeting again, these two poles coming together, it's like if you have two magnets, and if they meet, what happens? It's kind of an explosion, or the right? They're attracting each other. And when they come together, it's kind of an explosion. And in the same way, Mahaprabhu, what he manifested with his life, beside the chanting of the holy name, this is when Radha and Krishna combine together again. Where they waited for in Vrindavan, the whole Vrindavan Leela is all about Krishna going out of Vrindavan and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan who loved him so dearly, waiting for that moment that he came back, that he comes back. Right? Therefore, the Ratha Yatra festival is, in our movement, such a crucial point, where there Radha and Krishna meeting again. And in fact, His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj, when he was narrating this pastime, what he saw, what happened when Krishna came back to Vrindavan, this was the moment basically he went into Samadhi and left. Right? So, but now here, what we have, the holy name. If you look at the holy name, it's combined of what? Krishna and Radha. Yeah. And as Rama as another form of Krishna. Right? So you can meditate upon the holy name as non-different from Radha and Krishna. In fact, some esoteric Vaishnava Shastras say it's the rasa dance. You have Radharani and Krishna. Radharani and Krishna. You know, and then they're turning. And suddenly when they turn, you have 2 times Krishna standing beside each other. And 2 times Radha standing beside each other. Right? It's a transcendental sound. It's not contaminated by anything material. In this moment we chant Hare Krishna. We creating a dome. We're creating a dome what protects us and protects these people or these souls who hear this chanting, Hare Krishna. Because they immediately be affected by Radha and Krishna. So now when Srila Prabhupada, what translation did he give to us for the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Yes, Radha and Krishna engage us in your service. That we may think it's a very simple translation, you know, kind of for Westerners who have no idea about. But in the simple translation, what two very important things are included in this meditation? Please, Radha and Krishna, engage me in your service. Charu? Huh? Yeah, sure. But when we have this meditation, what is it? What is in our mind? We say, Radha and Krishna, please engage me in your service. How can I serve you? So we're asking for service, but what else is there? Let's take, I'm an owner of a company. I'm the owner of Knaus. I like to speak of Knaus. You know, our vehicle who makes these caravans. If I'm bankrupt, or let's say I'm doing some caravans. I'm a caravan person who builds some caravans, but I'm bankrupt. And now, what options do I have to survive? Work more, yeah, okay. But still, this would be my own endeavor. Then I would say, okay, I do more work. I will do it. I can do it. What other option do I have? To the police. What? No, I don't go to the police. What else could I do? To surrender to whom? Mr. Knaus, who's most successful. Yes. I say, please, Mr. Knaus, engage me in your service. So what does it contain? What mentality does it contain in me? Servant and humility, yes. I have to admit I'm bankrupt. Here I am, completely bankrupt. Please engage me in your service. So that's the meditation, what is in this simple phrase, what Prabhupada gave us in this translation. Therefore, we chant every morning the 3rd verse of the Shikshastikam. Trinadabi sunichena taro iva sahishnuna amanina manedena Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Because only if we have this humility, this understanding, okay, I have to surrender, I'm bankrupt, only then I can chant the holy name in the right mindset. Only then, really, the holy name can appear for me. The holy name is there anyway. And it will purify the area because it's completely clean, it's transcendental. Except one thing. My heart. Right? If I don't have the right mentality, then it's less effective. Therefore, it can happen that you have somebody who makes very nice bhajan, very nice melodies, and everything is there. It's very attractive from the musical point of view, but it doesn't contain so much devotion. On the other hand, I saw swamis, or I heard swamis, don't want to mention. I heard swamis who, completely were out of tune. With the mridanga, with the rhythm, they just chanted somehow Prabhupada's simple melody. And from a melodic point of view, you would think, ooh, that sounds a little bit. But I saw crowds of devotees becoming completely wild and ecstatic, because there was the right attitude in it. So in the moment when we go out, or in the moment when we take to the holy name and chant it, we take the mission of Mahaprabhu and we create a dome. We create a dome like a spiritual hotspot. When we come together chanting in the temple, this temple is vibrating. When we go out on the street chanting the holy name, we create a temple immediately there in the shopping mall. We create a temple where everybody who hears it comes in contact with the temple. In fact, he enters this temple. Right? And it purifies. If this person won it or not, it gets purified. So it's completely pure and clean. Now, but one thing more. Say we have a temple here. When this temple is, although we're chanting here, but outside it looks a little bit dirty. And we have corners where we could, especially now after the winter, where we could do more focus on it. But then you come in, it looks dirty inside, it's not cleaned for a while, and but yeah, it's a temple. But then you see outside, the shop is not really well kept. There is kind of very old stuff inside. Everything is dusty. The altar, you can see there is, could be something more done or whatever. So what you would think when you enter such a temple? Yeah, you would think could be better maintained, or? So now, what do you think? Is there a difference how we appear on the street? No? What do you mean there's no difference?
If we appear gentlemanly, with clean clothes, like everything proper, and then still present the philosophy, then people are more likely to take it up.
Yes. I also would say, because sometimes, we say, it's the main thing to bring the holy name on the street. And it's true. It's true, because that's the Yuga Dharma. But if we come with a super clean, super duper Abud Mandir, what is the Abud Mandir? The Abud Mandir will come in a few days. It will come here on a collection tour. So the Abud Mandir is basically this Mandir, what we try to build in Mayapur. The Gaudiya Math says it's already there. It's the Yoga Pit. The Abud Mandir is this Mandir where the holy name emanates, and devotional service, everybody is attracted to devotional service. So if we bring this special gift, this gift of Mahaprabhu, what he gave to the three worlds, if we bring it, for example, to Passau, or last week we went to Deggendorf and we bring it to Linz or wherever, if we conscious about it, what gift we presenting. You have a wonderful gift you want to give to somebody for birthday. And you think, I want to wrap it, because then it's even more attractive, more exciting. Right? And then you take some old newspaper and wrap it there. It's wrapping. And it's a gift inside. But if you try to give it to somebody, even, okay, what is it, like, what have you inside here? Some old, okay, thank you, maybe next time, all right? So we have, somehow or other, we have to have the consciousness that we're presenting something. And we should be aware of time, place, and circumstances where we present these things. Doesn't have to be always that we present it in dhoti, sari, kurta, or wherever, in Vaishnava clothes. If we go to a classical philharmonie, wherever, where everybody is accustomed to be in suit and tie, we even could pack the holy name in some classical instrumental setting, with trumpets or whatever, but still it's the holy name, right? But for these people, it's more attractive because they can relate to that. But we should be conscious that when we become a hodgepodge of everything, now either we present our tradition, our Gaudiya tradition, based in 500 years ago in Bengal, and try to present this to the people, then we should use this dress or this outlook, setting, whatever. If we go in another environment, we should dress accordingly to this environment. Just that for the people, it's more easy to enter. We have to take the Schwellenangst, they say in Germany. Or you can say it in English, the fear when you step over, businesses, they always try to be open, the people try to come in because many people, they're looking, especially it's a strange shop, whatever, some Indian shop or whatever, looks interesting, but I don't feel comfortable to step in. So the shop owner has to think how I can make them comfortable that they come into my shop, right? So that's our duty, that's our responsibility. First of all, we have to take up the holy name for ourselves and try to be a very efficient tool by becoming purified, and in this way our heart is more and more clean and can vibrate more clean in us and getting out of us. And then we have to propagate it, we have to give it away. We have to approach the people. And there's our intelligence, how we can do this and how we can come to many people as possible, to bring that gift, what is non-different from Radha and Krishna, and contains all the nectar, all the rasas is actually in this mantra. It's the essence of everything. The essence of everything is the love between Radha and Krishna. Everything is there. And the essence of that is in that mantra. So it's something very, very precious. So how can we give it to the world, and that the world really can relish this present? That's our task. That's the task of the Sankirtan movement. So everybody is welcome to, as Prabhupada said, tax your brain. Tax your brain to bring this very special movement to the world. Not to be a sectarian movement, not to be a cult, not to be something where people are kind of afraid to step in because they don't know, they hear so many strange stories in the internet and everywhere. No, we have to be attractive in our own way, that people have the need, they feel the need. Let me ask these people, what's the secret? Right? We have to be attractive because Krishna is attractive. If we're not attractive, that means something very important is lacking. Who's lacking? Krishna, maybe. Yeah. So let us be attractive. Of course, that doesn't mean that we, put on makeup and stuff like that. Maybe some may do it. Some ladies, when they, when the Russian groups, when they do Harinam on the streets, the ladies always dressed very beautifully, and they're dancing in front, making, everybody. Oh, where does heavenly women come from? You know, they fall from the sky, you know, somewhere. You know, and then also the men, they sing attractively or in a kind of, in a nice, appealing tone. Of course, devotees like to go in this, how to say, in this tunnels or wherever, you know, and then they like to stand there, you know, and everybody think, what's going on? It's an explosion or something, you know. But nobody likes to go then into this tunnel, you know, when the devotees are getting crazy. And, you know, in Passau we have this, you know what I mean? This tunnel when you go up the hill. Anyway, on the for the Queen's Day or the now it's the King's Day. There's also always under a bridge where the devotees then stop and becoming completely wild. But guess what? Everybody else is kind of either they are drunk anyway and don't have any, you know. Everybody else who is maybe we choose another way today, you know. So, you know, let them enter, let them come in. That's our responsibility. And of course, I'm far away to be a good example of this, but I have great hope that by your association, one day I can become a clean heart and an attractive person. What can attract other persons? Yes. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So please give me your blessings, or give me your questions, or your thoughts, your realizations. Otherwise, give me breakfast. No? Nothing? Okay, then we wish you a wonderful day. Lots of things are happening here. Many guests are coming. And maybe as a small meditation, you know, let us try to be very inviting for them by our appearance and by our nature, by our culture. Because you will see on the weekend, especially nowadays, this Easter weekend, probably many Indian day guests will come. We have many guests coming here mostly they're from South India, from Tamil Nadu and Nanimuki. Mostly they're from Kerala and, you know, this state, and they have a natural attraction to Narasimha Swami, so they like to come here. But they're always a little bit reserved when it comes to philosophy and when it comes to, especially when white people present. You know, I think, I know Bhagavad Gita, you know, what do you know? You know, my grandmother was on the battlefield with Krishna. So, you know, we have to see, you know, these are guests like Prabhupada. He saw his disciples as gifts sent by his Gurudev, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So whoever comes in here, he is a gift. Hare Krishna Mataji. He's a gift by Krishna. And they are guests of Narasimhadev. So treat them with that respect, but beside of prasadam, let them give something of our world, but in a very polite way. We have to be intelligent of that. No, there's nothing dumping a gift on somebody. You know, they get scared. So, you know, presenting a gift in a very nice and humble way, in a very attractive package, and in this way they become curious. Why? And what do you think? Okay, for the end, what do you think? What is the most attractive feature what we can give? Huh? Yeah. But no. What is it? I want to hear something else. Think with me, huh? Yes, prasadam. Prasadam is also, yeah, there's prasadam. You know, there's kitri and there's prasadam. You know, kitri is also, huh? Yes, association, but I can, you know, association is also all shades of association are there. Huh? Smile, yeah, because smiling is expression of what? Happiness. Happiness. Everybody's looking for happiness. Everybody's looking for happy people. And, you know, guess what? It doesn't function if we kind of, I always say, I had a marketing teacher at school. He always came in the morning, he said, you have to smile. And when she drove in her car, she was already like this. She trained it herself to smile. And she was like this the whole day. And you could see, and she's upset, she was there smiling. Scary, or? No, we are not like that. We are actually happy. Right? So let it out. Show this. And we don't have to bother the people with our happiness. See how happy I am, how happy we are. No, just be yourself, just be happy. Come in the kirtan and dance. This is already, why they're dancing? Do they drink something? What do they do? When people come here, when Western people come here at 4:30 in the morning, seeing everybody dancing, they think on what they are running. What's the secret here? What's the secret in this party? Right? So let them be part of it and just be as we are, be happy. There's lots of prasadam today. There's pizza outside. So how you cannot be happy? But for now there's khichdi. Or soup, I don't know. Or bread. I think there's bread rolls, right? That's the reason for happiness. Or? Bread rolls made by our Prahlad Nrsimha Prabhu. Haribol! So this is a very amazing movement where we entered in. Be aware of it or dismiss it. If you dismiss it, you dismiss the chance of your life. Just be part of this family, be happy and chant. And then chant and be happy. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai.